Arry and Bert had the potential to be some of the best Thomas and Friends villains in the entire show. They first appeared in the season 5 episode, Stepney Gets Lost, where they try to murder Stepney. Like, these guys have no cooldown. It's 0 or 100, no in between. But alas, in the season 6 episode, Middle Engine, they became schoolyard bullies. The maniacal murderers were now turned into schoolyard bullies, and I despise Middle Engine because of that. So why did Arry and Bert have such a drastic change from their original personalities, and why were they never punished for trying to kill Stepney? Probably because of bad writing, but that's not good enough for me. So Arry and Bert don't really say much in Stepney Gets Lost. I think Arry says 2 lines, and Bert is just mute, and I don't even think Arry is named. But their actions are more important. They leave Stepney to die. They leave Stepney to get taken by the claw. So they leave before Stepney is saved. That's a really important part. The Fat Controller doesn't see Arry and Bert in the episode at all, so they're not caught. Another thing is that Stepney never tells the Fat Controller about the Diesels, which could just be because of the time skip between the last act of the episode and the end of the episode. But even if he did tell the Fat Controller, he might have the wrong information. The smelter's yard gives off a red glow, and we only see the twins in the smelter's yard. So for all Stepney knows, the Diesels could be red or orange. He doesn't have the most concrete information on their color. Another thing he doesn't know is that they're twins, because Bert is behind him throughout the entirety of the episode. Throughout the entirety of his screen time, Bert is behind Stepney, so Stepney has no clue that the engines are twins. Another thing, he'd only know the shape of the engines, the basic shape, and that's not really helpful, considering that a lot of the Diesels on the island of Sodor, especially in the CGI series, look the same. You know, they're based on the same class. The Fat Controller also has already purchased Arry and Bert before Stepney Gets Lost, since we see the name Sodor Ironworks on Arry, so we know that he's already part of the Northwestern Railway property. However, the reason that the Fat Controller doesn't put 2 and 2 together is because, well, first off, the Stepney Gets Lost takes place in the smelter's yard, right? And not the Ironworks, which is where Arry and Bert work. I don't know why they're never seen working at the Ironworks, because they're, like, in every episode, they're in the scrapyard or smelter's yard. But just for continuity's sake, we'll say they work at the Ironworks, and they just go to the scrapyard or smelter's yard to mess with engines. So all the Fat Controller knows is that the 2 Diesels that tried to kill Stepney are Class 08 shunters, and, oh yeah, there's not really that much information he has to go on. So it makes sense as to why he might not put 2 and 2 together and realize that Arry and Bert are the ones who tried to kill Stepney. Now, to answer the question why they have such a big, drastic change from their original personas, this is more speculation, it's not really concrete evidence, but I assume that since they had such a close call with, trying to kill Stepney, they decided to dial it down a bit, and instead of trying to kill engines, they would just try to mess with them and bully them.